Hi, this is Kara from the Hooting Pirate, and this is my little series on how to get started sewing on paper, or even fabric if you've never sewn before. So what I've done is I put black thread in the bottom, just so it makes it look nice. And I'm going to just sort of give you some test stitches. Right now I've got my machine set up so that the stitches are really small, and you should have a dial or some sort of usually it'll be set up for just a regular normal stitch, and that's what you should use. If you go too small, I'm just going to show you what small stitches are. So let's put our foot pedal down, and I'm just going to sew. And the smaller the stitches, the slower it'll take. So you want to lift it up and cut. It's always best to cut. When you're sewing on paper, don't cut too close to the edge, but it's better to cut than you do have a little knife on the side of your machine usually. Now, if you cut too small, you'll see that you're basically making holes so close together that you're just going to be able to rip your paper right in half. You saw how easy that was, and then your thread comes right out. So that's not very fun. So what you want to do is have them at 2.5 or 3. That's a good setting. It's hard for me to explain to you what that is if I don't have your machine, but usually it's the biggest button with the numbers, but it's usually whatever the default setting is, that's what you want. So you can just sew. Oops, I forgot to lift my pedal. Lift your pedal because then your thread doesn't get stuck. And you can see that this is pretty sturdy, and I can't even rip it if I wanted to. It just rips because I'm ripping the paper, but you saw how easy the other bit ripped. So I don't find when you sew on paper that the back looks very nice. So make sure when you're sewing that the part that's up top is your project size. Okay, so there's always back stitching, which is when you're sewing on fabric, it can unravel. So you just want to hit the back stitch so that it won't unravel. But you don't need to do that on paper. What you could do, I'll show you. Oops, sorry, I hit the tripod. Is take your back thread, the one that's coming with the back, and just give it a little tug. And you can see that it's pulling the threads from the front. So if you just grab them with your fingers, you can pull that front thread through and then stick an old sticker or some adhesive or, you know, the little squares with the blue backing. Something just hold it down. Or you can just leave it loose. It usually won't do much. Or you can leave them like that because that kind of looks fun, except for where I ripped it. You don't have to do a straight line. You can do zigzags. Check on your machine. It'll have a zigzag option. You don't have to go straight. You can make curved lines, which I actually like to do because I can't stitch straight for the life of me. So oops, I keep forgetting to do this because I'm so far away with the tripod in the way. So I don't even like how that looks, but because I can't get close enough. And you can do 3 stitches on top of each other. Yeah, I just think that it's the curves are too close together. So just what I would do is to take a couple pieces of paper and just practice, have fun, see what you like to do, see what's fun to do. If it's hard and you don't like it, try something else. But now, since we're here, I thought maybe we'll just do a little project. So this is going to be a background, and there's measurements along the side of your needle, and I like to, and there's also one on the foot pedal too. So I like to get the edge of my paper about halfway between my needle and the edge of the foot pedal. That's where I like my border. So I'm just going to sew around, and I'm not trying to go straight. I'm just sewing. And when you get to the corner, you got to kind of estimate. And then what you need to do to turn a corner is to make sure your needle is down within the paper. Lift your foot pedal, turn the paper. See how I just turned it? And now you're going in the direction that you want to go. And just sew. Whoa, went too fast. And then if your needle is not in the paper, just turn that dial on the side of your machine. This way, I want to go back a little bit because I went too far, so I'm going to turn it away from me towards the back of my machine. Lift up the foot pedal again, turn it around. And now I'm not close enough to the edge, so I'm just going to do a couple stitches with the wheel on the edge of the machine. Again with the wheel, and then we're almost to the edge, back to the beginning. And let's just do something fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and I'm going to make sort of like waves just on this little spot. I'm going to make them kind of big. And I'm just going to move my paper. And now I'm going to go straight again, past that corner, and I'm not going to go over the same spot where I was before. I'm going to try not to anyway, so that I have a double line instead of one big thick line. I'll do some more waves actually. And then I'm going to go straight again. I'm just going to, I'm sorry if I shouldn't be talking when I'm sewing. I'm just going to kind of vary it up. Think of it as doodling. What would you doodle on the edge of your page? Here, I'm going to start. I'm probably going faster than I normally would. And then stop pretty much where you started. And then lift your needle up. If it's still in the paper, use your wheel on the side to lift it up. Lift up your foot pedal. Pull it out, the string will follow, thread will follow, and then just give it a snip. And then again, what you want to do is find the back threads, give them a little tug, pull those front threads through. Oh, doesn't want to come to the back. And either stick it down or leave it like that, and there you have a little border. Hopefully you can see that okay. Probably could zoom out, but whoops. There, see? Fun! And then you're all set. You can do photo frames like this. You could do journaling cards with a little frame. You could put photos down. You could put your title on there with thickers and then run a stitch through the thickers. You can make little lines along your page and then write your journaling on that. All kinds of fun stuff you could do. Okay, well, have fun with your sewing machine, and if you do something that you really like and want to share, send them along to me at thehootingpirate.com. Thank you very much.